In Howe Hall at Iowa State University, Dr. Rothmeyer and Iowa State students are working with NASA Glenn to study the formation of ice. The research is geared towards discovering more about ice generating on the wings of planes.
As planes fly, they, especially during the winter, they can go through clouds, and as they go through the clouds, the water's very cool. And as it hits the wings, it'll start forming ice. And one of the major problems is that the ice will start to form out on the wing, and it can cause a lot of disturbances.
John Wimmer is a senior in aerospace engineering and the lead researcher of the NASA Glenn and Iowa State collaboration. Wimmer and his team are working to find a solution in the hope that crashes involving ice don't happen in the future.
Wings have a nice round leading edge, so the air flows over it more easily. And as the ice forms, it can create turbulence and greatly reduce the lift that's produced by the wing and causes the plane to fly less efficiently.
Wimmer and his fellow students are in phase 1 of the project. He has worked on creating ice sheets with small geometric features. A 3D X-ray recreates the ice mass.
So I'll make those, we'll take them over to Black Engineering. When they're over there, we'll put them in a super cool freezer, takes them down to about negative 60 degrees Fahrenheit.
The ice is then reweighed for comparing photos of the mass and the X-ray model to see if any of the ice melted during the process.
We're starting to get closer. We've determined that we can see down to 1 millimeter sizes when using the X-rays, which is pretty good. We'll be handling a lot of small features as we come along in the project.
When phase 1 concludes at the end of the semester, the team will have to show ice with geometric features that can't be seen to the naked eye, although a 3D X-ray will be able to distinguish them. I asked Wimmer why he thinks NASA Glenn chose Iowa State as a research partner for the project.
I feel like NASA Glenn chose us kind of based on our setup. We have an ISU Wind Tunnel here, and we have the CT X-ray scanning system that they're interested in.
So this is the entire icing tunnel. Up on top is essentially a giant radiator, so it's actually cooling the air as it goes across the top before it's pumped back to the bottom. So it's essentially like a racetrack for air.
The icing tunnel generates high-speed winds, which are first cooled, then joined with water, and brought to this test section where a wing model is located. So why start with the formation of ice and not focus on changing the model of a wing?
There's no exact method of removing the ice right now. We're going to be focusing more on the swept wing and some of the more complex geometries that are forming. And maybe if we can better understand how this ice is forming, then in the future it may be less of a problem and we can find a better way to prevent this from happening.
For ISU TV, I'm Chrissy Amaya.